Welcome, everybody, to the Cover 2 Fantasy Football Podcast. That's right, we are back for another episode, and I want to talk today about auction leagues. I am in a big auction league currently, and there are some tips of the trade that I want to bring to you. But before we do, make sure to always like, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. But let's get started with what an auction draft is and some strategy tips for you. So the first thing you need to think about is the salary cap. Most leagues is between 15 and 20 players, and you have between $200 and $400 to play with. During that time, you need to think about what players that I really want and what is going to get me there for that season. Because remember, auction drafts is just 1 year, just like a snake draft. So each person's going to start by auctioning a player. The bids will go left and right. And at the end, it will count down from 10 seconds. And if somebody doesn't bid, that person gets it until everybody has a full team. Make sure to check out and find those dollar deals because those guys are going to be hot when it comes to the very end of the draft. And think about what your strategy is on who you want to draft first. Because some tips that I want to give you, 3 tips in fact, is make sure that you have amount of money for each player set. Don't go in there blind and start overspending. Only auction the guys that you don't want. In the very beginning, throw out those guys that you don't care for. The Patrick Mahomes of the world that you know are going to go for a high price that you don't really want, and they're going to take away people's money. That's a really big thing to do. Next, choose 2 guys you want, maybe a running back and a wide receiver, or 2 running backs, and go all out for them. Put your money into them, and then you can wait and go after those dollar deals in the future rounds of the draft. But now we're going to get into the normal drafts, the snake drafts that you see almost all the time. I'm going to talk about my strategy for our first upcoming mock draft. But until then, cover 2. Cover 2.